Hello. So with this video, I want to create a response, kind of a follow-up to a video I posted maybe about a week ago. So in that video, I talked about going back on Wellbutrin, which was is an antidepressant that I have past experience of being on. And at the time when I made the video, I was in this place where I was like, okay, I'm having these depression symptoms. I didn't have a strategy at the time to deal with it that I thought would be really as effective as medication. And medication was kind of like the feeling I had had on Wellbutrin before was kind of the feeling that I was looking for, which was a bit more energized and motivated. So that was like, that's what I need. All right, I'll take Wellbutrin. That's worked for me before, so it should work again. So I went off of it. I was on it for probably 10 days. Oh man, time is weird. I was on it for like around a week, and I've been off of it for maybe 3 or 4 days. So, or maybe longer. I should probably get the timing right. Anyways, so I want to just right away be like, disclaimer, if you're watching this and you take medications for your mental health of any kind, don't stop taking them. Don't stop taking your meds. Seriously. Medication is so important. I have loved ones who have stopped taking their meds suddenly and have had a very, very hard time. So don't just go watch this video and go off and stop taking your medications and just don't do that to yourself. It's not going to make you feel better to suddenly stop taking your meds. If you think it will make you feel better, go talk to your doctor. If you don't like your doctor's opinion, get a second opinion, or a third or a fourth. Getting second opinions can be really important because all practitioners have different, there is kind of a general guideline, but all practitioners have different preferences for medications. I mean, yeah, even when it comes to things like painkillers and birth control and for example, I had a doctor who wouldn't put in a Paragard for me. They told me they pretty much wouldn't do it because they had such bad experiences with it. But then I had another doctor who was totally down to give me Paragard. So get second opinion if you need it. Get many opinions, especially when it has to do with your mental health and well-being. Anyways, back to my story. So I decided to go off of it. So I went on it and, I was very motivated to kind of learn new strategies. I spent a lot of time each day just kind of researching and intuitively searching different books and articles and techniques and meditations, and I spent a lot of time doing this to find resources to help myself and to help others. So in this time, I found some tantric breathing exercises, and I learned a lot about the Kundalini and Tantra. And I've known about Tantra, I know about Kundalini, but this new understanding was downloaded for me. A new understanding came in that I thought was really important, and it felt like I kind of up-leveled my understanding of depression, and I got some new tools and techniques for working with depression and healing it. This was super exciting for me because as a practitioner, being able to go off my meds and being able to have techniques to help other people go off meds or feel good without meds is really important, because a lot of people I work with don't want to be on medication, and I honor that and respect that. And if I can find ways to help them, I'm going to, and I'm going to share, So this is also me being really transparent and being really open with my experience. I know a lot of people go off and on medications and are like, wow, and wonder sometimes, like, is depression, like, is there any way to ever live without depression? And my recent understanding made me feel like, yes, there are ways to tackle depression and be able to live without it. I feel that very strongly now. And all I did was some breathing meditations. I also got a session with my own practitioner, my own energy medicine practitioner. And she told me, from her intuitive perspective, that whole experience for me was to bring me back to my breath. So breath is so insanely important to our health. As we grow up, we learn to constrict our breathing. You hold your breath and you tense up so that you can get through these experiences and situations that are really uncomfortable. And so then we kind of learn to live with this constricted breathing pattern so that we're not fully taking life in, but we're not fully taking in anything that causes us pain, but we're in this constant kind of stress, fight or flight breath pattern. So this lended more to my understanding of anxiety and its connection with the breath. So now I have this way bigger understanding of how that works. I also went deeper into my understanding of Kundalini and life force energy and that channel of energy that runs through the body. And with the work that I did on myself recently, I saw depression as a block in life force energy that, running through the body. And it was just something I'd never seen before, and I'd never seen depression in that sort of way, and I never could really grasp it. And you'll find you'll be able to read concepts and read about things over and over and over, and there will be some sort of experience you have that finally grounds that understanding in, and you're really able to integrate it and bring it into your understanding. And that happened recently for me as I really downloaded this new understanding of depression, the Kundalini, life force energy, and our breath and the power of our breath, and just really learning more about Tantra, which is amazing spiritual practice. I love Tantra so much, and it will be incorporated in my work more. But yeah, so not on meds anymore. I'm feeling really good. I've been dedicating time each day to breathing, which is so simple, and sometimes I get into really complicated daily routines and rituals, but right now it's just a simple 10 minutes approximately of breathing and just conscious breathing, and this is powerfully healing. So if you're someone, also dance has been coming in, and dance has also been really helpful with depression. So when you're depressed, hearing that dancing and breathing is going to make you feel better is the worst thing. I know it sounds like total shit, because it's when you're depressed, it's nothing is going to fix me. Nothing, there are no answers, there are no solutions. It is closed down. You're closed down, you're constricted, it's just done. You feel lifeless. And so that's why I'm don't just go off your meds. Don't just stop doing what you're doing. But like I said in the last video, use your meds and use other methods so that you can start moving. The meds are just going to keep you here. All those techniques, breath, dance, therapy, talk therapy, Reiki, energy work, that's going to move you up. The meds just get you to here, from here to here. Everything else moves you up, up there. And eventually maybe, the meds will leave you won't need them anymore. But they keep you here so that when this stuff, maybe it's not working for you more, maybe you need to switch up your strategies, maybe it wasn't the right strategy in the first place. When that doesn't work for you, it keeps you from going all the way back down here. Keeps you up here. So for me, I consider healing to be a continuous integration embodiment process. So you're continuously taking your default kind of wherever you land typically, taking that higher and higher and higher. So, when I'm, when I'm depressed now, I'm here versus before at other periods in my life, I was here. And I know now that like where my level is at, and I can feel like, okay, like where am I on the scale? Where do I normally fall on the scale? And a lot of what the healing process is just taking that default setting you have, that default vibration or mood you tend to typically have, and raising it. And just really being able to access this kind of neutral, harmonious space all the time or often. And yeah. So, not on Wellbutrin, breathing, Tantra, new understanding of the Kundalini life force and how and what that has to do with depression. I have found that that's actually very much integrated with depression. If you're depressed, dance and movement, just free movement, finding any excuse or way to move and dance your body, move your body around, shake your body, punch things, punch pillows, any sort of movement you can think of, screaming in a pillow. These things are going to move energy, and moving your breath, moving that life force energy is going to move out those blocks, and being able to let yourself feel those feelings and let them move through. It's a really powerful practice. Try practicing it now, just little bits each day, and incorporate that with everything else that you're doing. But I'm really happy as a practitioner to be able to hold a vibration of, kind of hope for those who don't want to be on meds anymore. I'm glad that I have experience being on both sides. Will I take meds again one day? Honestly, probably not. At this point, I feel like this last time I was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's not really an option for me anymore. It just didn't really do much for me. And, but it inspired me to find these other methods that I know will work for me better. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you could be doing those, taking your medications, and that can get you higher, higher, higher to a point where then breathing and dance will be your quick fix. When you're feeling depressed, you'll have raised your, it's like your set point, emotional set point. You'll have raised that to a point where you won't need to take meds. Instead, you'll be able to do breath work and dance and things like that, and that'll really move you up. So I suggest incorporating that now, and just knowing that, taking meds, like, you don't have to stay like this. You can keep going up, and your medications can be with you as you move upward. And, adding in those other practices will keep you moving up to a place where then you won't need them, or you can still use them, have both, and you can just be happy. And it's like meds and, breath work and things like that. All of that keeps me happy, staying grounded and feeling good and living a good life. And that's fucking awesome. And I don't need to change that up. I don't need to go off meds. It's not whether you are on them or not, doesn't mean anything. For me, that's something that's important for myself. For other people, I want them to take their meds if they want to take their meds and if it makes them feel good. Legit. And that's kind of the message I want to be really clear. But I know there are people out there who don't want to be on medication. So there are, this practice for me, this experience for me really made that clear. Okay, there are solutions. There is an upward spiral that is accessible. And I thought I was really fucking low down. So to find myself in this place now gives me a lot of hope for myself and for others. So yeah, just sharing this message, staying transparent. I want to keep the discussion of mental health and meds and all these different strategies and the intersection between conventional medicine and spiritual healing in mental health is really important to me. So this conversation will continue. Thank you for watching.